This is Let's Talk About Magnum PI, the podcast from fans for fans of Magnum PI.
So, hi guys, here we are for a new episode.
Hi!
Again, just Liz and I, because we were having a very busy day today.
Yes, we did a little something, and I'm very proud of us.
I am too. There was a lot of think of Perdita and think of Higgins exchange during it.
Yeah, but we got through it, and we lived a tale to tell, and I'm very, very proud of us, lived a tale to tell. I'm sorry, there's little children on my end again today, as you can probably hear.
But at least she got a
dog
beat.
and yeah, dog and two little children. I do apologize.
Oh, two! They multiplied.
Yes, it's my niece and my nephew. Last time I think it was just my niece who was here. This weekend we have both of them. So double trouble and the dog.
Ooh,
so
triple trouble.
You're gonna hear a lot of that.
Yeah. So yeah, we finished our first run.
We did a 5K.
Yeah.
Which was more than either one of us thought we could do, but we did it.
Yeah, we can do this. And then when we started, we're like, okay, we underestimated this. And then we had trouble thinking we finish it. But we're finishers, and pretty sure we're getting medals.
Yeah, so we'll have to show you guys that for those of you that watch it on YouTube. When we get them, we'll have to show you that.
They're being sent to us. So, since hopefully, I mean, we're finishers. They said we get medals for finishing. Sure.
So, fingers crossed.
Better do that. So, because we couldn't plan on having any guests because we didn't know when and if we'd finish this thing, it's another rewatch episode today. And we rewatched episode 9. Right? Okay.
Ooh. Yeah, 9. The ties that bind.
Yes! Whoop, whoop, whoop,
our little Amanda Sacco episode.
The name. Her last name. The first name's fine. Amanda, you can remember. Yeah. Sacco is like, right. As soon as it enters my brain, it just leaves again.
I think I've seen this episode so many times that it just sticks in my brain.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everyone has these kinds of episodes for shows that they watch.
Yeah. And this one happens to be one of mine. Yeah, little children singing.
I mean, again,
and yes, my door is closed. She does. And she's very good at arts and crafts, so...
Very good, very creative. Oh my goodness, my necklace is just shining away here.
Your little Higgy
almost
necklace.
Higgy necklace, Higgy remembrance necklace.
Yeah.
It doesn't say love R, it says aloha on it.
Because a love R would be a little odd.
Unless I had an R.
True.
Which I don't.
Then we would all be like Magnum saying, Who is it?
Yeah, but no, I don't
have an R.
Okay, so
let's
start. Start at the beginning. Amanda's freaking smart, isn't she?
She really is. So resourceful. And Magnum even says that to her at one point.
Yeah. He does.
When she's like, I'm not strong, and he's like, well, you managed to escape, and, you did it all by yourself. He goes, when I was held by the Taliban, I had 3 weeks of naval training and 3 guys with me, and it was my obligation to escape. So, like, he does give her a lot of credit for escaping, and she is very resourceful, and we see that right at the beginning.
Yeah, and I love in that scene that you can tell that he's not selling his own experience short. He's certainly not selling his achievement by escaping short, but he's definitely using these little facts to make her feel better. He still knows that it's a pretty fucking epic feat to have survived 80 months in a POW camp and escape.
Oh, yeah. 100%. I think if anybody escapes any sort of captivity, it's a fucking amazing feat. you know,
Yeah.
and like, you know, like you said, after 18 months and it being like the Taliban and everything, it's like, it's unreal, you know? So it is impressive. And like you said, he does use that to help Amanda.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
so good with her.
He's really good. It's one of these episodes where we see how good he is with her, and someone else does too.
Yes. And that someone else is also very good with her as well.
Yes, yes. So I love that she just. That must have been so freaking painful to dislodge your fucking thumb.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, when she's like, I broke my thumb and I escaped. I was like,
pretty sure
oh
she
my
just
God,
dislodged it and didn't break it. But still, painful as hell.
Yeah. I mean, but then again, I if I was in her situation and I would think of that, I would do it to escape. 100%.
Mm. I don't know if I could do it. I personally am someone, I don't like pain. I avoid pain at all costs. So I'm like, I'm pretty sure you would have to torture me a little in order for me to even consider inflicting pain upon myself.
Yeah. I mean, I would consider it just as an escape thing. Like if it was either that or like, you know, torture, I think I might break my thumb and leave if I could.
Which is,
but
she's just fucking impressive, having gotten out of there.
She is.
And then she ran really for such a long time that the
6 miles, I think it is.
Track of her. 6 miles. We just ran 3.
Yeah. She ran double what we just ran.
Yeah. Holy fuck! That girl's legs must have been on fire, because ours certainly are.
Yeah. And she was also held captive, and we weren't, so that also takes a toll on it.
Yeah,
right? So
she was not fully hydrated. She wasn't fully full of nutritious stuff. I fueled up. I was fully hydrated. Yeah. We had water with us, and she didn't have any of that. Oh, impressive.
Yeah. So I'll give her props for that, for sure.
Also, her parents, have you noticed? They went to him to find the guy. Despite HPD and probably still 5-0 being on it. Magnum must have a really good fucking reputation by now. For them to go there, like...
Yeah, I guess he does.
Yeah. Probably the reputation, like, if he gets a case, he solves it. Like, we don't know of any case that he couldn't solve, so that's probably the reputation that attracts people.
We haven't had a single case that he hasn't solved.
In one way or another. He kind of hasn't solved Mittens, but then again, it's a cat.
Yeah. And Mittens still came home in the end, so his work was still finished in the end. So technically it all ended up okay. Right? And he did say, like, leave the window open, and that's what the kid did, and then the cat came back. So technically he did, you know, solve Mittens the cat.
Yeah. So our TM is known for solving problems and cases on.
Yeah, and that's why. Yeah, and that's why the parents hire him, because they want him to do what HPD can't, or what they think HPD can't at this point.
Yeah. Not knowing yet that they're actually targets themselves.
Yeah. And I remember the first time I watched it, like, when that first happened, when we find out that the parents are actually the target. It's like, whoa, okay, did not see that coming.
No. But there's one thing that almost always bothered me about that episode. Amanda does not look young enough to be that guy's daughter. She looks way too old to be his daughter.
Yeah. And he's supposed to be a high school student too.
Yeah. I mean, I get that.
Because she's supposed to be a high school student.
I get that they needed to have this experienced actress that could portray all of that, and she spot on, awesome performance. But like, oh, I'm sorry, but she's just so physically older than you claim that she is. She's gorgeous.
Yeah, 100%.
She's like more in her early 20s. Or
yeah, definitely.
20s.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Too old to be who she says she is.
Yeah, and that dude just looks freaking young.
Yeah. The dad, what's the dad's name? Oh my god. Mary and
Would you believe it? I have not even written that down.
Yeah, neither do I.
Alan!
Thank you, Alan.
I have written it down. Ha!
I literally didn't, because all of my notes were about how great Magnum and Higgins were with Amanda and how they were both so like parental and I loved it.
Yes. Oh yes. Let's talk about that. Actually, let's start with Thomas.
Yeah. When he instantly he knows right away that he can't help her necessarily before she's ready to kind of accept his help, and he knows that because he's a man it might freak her out a little bit more because she was taken by a man. So what does he do? He goes to Higgins. He also thinks about the yoga that he that he learned about in Germany when he was fresh out of the POW camp, and he knows that he might not necessarily be able to teach Amanda, but he knows Higgins can, right? So by doing that, by going to Higgins, he's helping Amanda in the best way that he can at that moment. He knows that she's not ready to open up.
He also knows how to form a connection with her early on, because he knows that his experiences is something that will make him more credible to her and something that she will then hopefully connect to. So he opens up about his experiences right away, which also tells that he's healed from them to a certain extent. As much as they still haunt him, he healed enough to talk about it and to be like, yeah, I know what it feels like having been captive. I know I can relate to your situation. We can talk about this on eye level.
Yeah, and that helps her open up to him a lot. A lot. So, and that's his first step for sure.
Yeah, right away, bringing up that he was held captive too, right away in the first conversation with her. And then later, he brings up the resources he had to escape that she didn't have. What he didn't mention in that moment is that she had, a very limited amount of guys that held her captive. He had way more guys that held him captive. He had way worse, odds. But you can tell he's still not trying to sell himself short or his achievement short. He knows his freaking awesome achievement, but he's like, look, I had this, but you didn't have this. And he could have gone I've got this training, and I was this old, and I've been through a fucking war before, and you haven't been. So obviously what she did was pretty awesome. Yeah.
I mean, there's no discounting what she did.
No.
There's no discrediting at all.
And
I don't think a single person could.
No, and there's also no discounting what he did. He's not trying to, and he doesn't want to, he just wants her to get a little boost of confidence.
Understand.
That.
Yeah.
And there was one scene that I really fucking loved. The way when she... Okay, first of all, the discussion about whether she would have shot him or not, that was hilarious. That just had me cracking up so good.
And she goes, I wouldn't have missed.
Yeah, and she wouldn't have. She wouldn't have.
No, she wouldn't have. And I love how Kuma goes, and actually that makes sense because she's shooting, she's skeek shooting, and then Kumu says, 6 out of 6, pretty badass, right? Which basically means, she hasn't missed a shot. So, of course, if she was going to shoot Magnum, she would, and she wouldn't miss.
She would not have missed him, no. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love it. And I love the Miss H. I love that Kuma calls her Miss H always in the early days.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. Also, I also love the fact that she can tell that he wants something from her just by his look at this point.
Yeah. And then she's so reluctant to help him, and then as soon as she finds out it's for Amanda, she's like, okay, I'll help, you know?
Yeah, there's no questions asked anymore. It's like, yeah, I'm in. Whatever you need for that.
I'm in. I'll do it. Also, did you notice, I don't know if you noticed, but Perdita sounded like she had a cold throughout like 90% of the episode. I think she may have been sick when they filmed it. I could hear it in her voice.
I did not, but in my defense, I had it on the big screen, and I usually don't hear something like that on the big screen. I have to have my earphones in to hear that, because I'm weird like that.
Specifically that scene. Like, specifically that scene where they're talking after the ski shooting. Yeah. You can, like, I can hear it in her voice quite a bit throughout the episode, and it's always, like, been in my head that she had a cold when they were filming that.
Yeah, possible. Why can't get cold?
Yeah.
Believe it or not,
I think she was sick.
Cold. Yeah, possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Side note, I think she was sick.
I going back to what you said about, you know, when he opens up, like, I need your help with this yoga thing, and you're a woman. It feels all just this, felt very genuine from him. Like, look, I know you got this, and you've got the tools that I need, and also you're pretty awesome for doing yoga, and you can help her, and I can't, and please help her. It was just the guy was genuine and warm, and very sweet.
And also, I trust you. I trust you enough to handle this delicately, and I trust you enough to, like, not freak her out even more, right? Like, it shows that certain amount of trust that he has for her, 100%.
And
already, you know, like,
in episode 9, they became fast friends at this point, and they trust each other, even though they were probably both deny it at that point. You know, vocally deny it, but they both know, yeah, we trust each other to a certain extent. Probably not to load the dishwasher, but certainly to handle delicate cases.
Clients.
Yeah.
Clients and cases.
Yeah.
And that whole yoga scene that they do is great, too.
Yeah.
It has one of my favorite lines ever in it.
Did you notice something about the lads?
No. What did you notice?
Apollo, both lads were really close to Amanda at that point, and kind of fuzzing about her. And I always had that vibe that they sense her PTS at that point, and they're like, we want to help. I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually something that might come up at a later point in that show, when either one of the boys just starts displaying symptoms of having, you know, a flashback or something. It would be one of the most amazing scenes ever if Magnum was having PTS episode and the lads would just be really kind, licking his face and be like, hey, don't be like that. We want you to be happy. And they just...
and then we could find out... like, sense it?
Yeah. I think they are.
And then we could find out that you know, they kind of got trained for that with Juliet, because maybe she has it too. Like, maybe she had episodes in the past too, right? And that's some of the comfort that she got from them. Oh, 100%.
Definitely 100%. So I'm like, they probably kind of even trained themselves to a certain extent towards their mistress. So I think they could be an awesome resource when PTS comes up. I can just imagine just the scene with them reacting to Magnum having a PTS episode would be awesome. Everybody would love it. Everybody would love it.
I would love it. I would love it.
These dogs, I personally, my personal headcanon, you can all go and have a different one, but my personal headcanon, they like him. Technically. But they also love playing with him.
They think he's a giant chew toy.
Yeah, basically. He's a toy for them. He's running away, and they can catch him and chase him. I mean, they are.
And they just think he's
dogs
fun.
They want to be. He is fun.
Yeah. They're just like, ooh, fun toy. He runs fast. Let's run after him. It's true. It's very possible. It's very, very possible. And that's why they haven't actually ever, like, bitten him or, like, jumped on him or anything like that.
Yeah.
As far as we know.
As far as we know. But there's all... Yeah, the training them to bite. Though we are still not 100% sure that she didn't try the lads to not bite him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there may have been some reverse in there after he left. Like, she could have trained him to, they could have trained them to not.
She could have been like
even just if he breaks...
Yeah, even if he breaks in, you're not biting that scent.
Yeah, no bites.
Yeah. Intimidate? Yeah. Yes. Chase? Perfectly fine. Growl and bark? Yes. Bite? Especially if he breaks in, no biting.
Still a Ferrari. Yeah, no biting, no killing.
Yeah. Leave his pulse intact, please.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure she's trained them in some way to not, like, attack Magnum. 100% she must have.
Hopefully, and not the other way around, as we've seen in the show, because really. I loved, and we actually talked about it on our run. There was one quote that I loved, and there was one quote that you loved. I love the quote, "Until you're balanced, you're no good to anyone, especially yourself." Which is so true.
I love that quote. And it actually follows up to the quote that I love, which is, there's nothing better than your body achieving something your mind thought it couldn't, I believe.
There's nothing more empowering
I had it written down.
Than your body achieving something your mind thought it couldn't. Which is so true. It's like, thank you, Master Higgins. Like, Sensei Higgins, thank you very much. Yeah.
Like, imparting words of wisdom, 150%.
Oh, yeah.
Throughout that entire episode. Like, I think my notes this time were like 90% quotes that I liked.
Which makes sense. I can relate to that quote so deeply, because at the beginning of my fitness journey, there was the Turkish getup, which looks pretty fucking impossible. Feels pretty fucking impossible if you're unfit. You essentially start out laying on the floor, and then you end up standing up entirely. The transition is really, really hot, and it is, and I'm just like, I can keep up with Egan Inoi's wife at the moment, if I really try hard.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
I went from not being able to do a single lifting myself up into a sitting position to doing that. There's nothing more empowering.
That's pretty fucking impressive.
There's nothing more empowering than your body achieving something your mind thought it couldn't. She's so right.
She's so fucking right.
Oh, yes.
She's so inspirational.
Yeah, and honestly, this entire thing, the moment he goes to her and is like, hey, please help me with this, and this is what I Landshut, Germany, and this is why I think you can help her. From that moment, we can just see that she sees Thomas in a different light now. And there's another scene where she just watches his back as Rick tells her about what happened in the POW camp where he was in solitary, and she's just like, she goes in.
So that must have been awful.
Yeah, she goes into this episode thinking one thing of Magnum, and she goes into this episode thinking another thing of him. I'm pretty sure she thinks even more highly of him than she did before.
100%, because she sees what he's willing to do, like, for somebody who went through very similar circumstances that he did. Like, I mean, for anybody, but in this particular case, it's this very similar circumstances, and you can hear the emotion like in her voice when when Rick's like, oh yeah, we haven't hacked it like this since we fled the Korengal, and she's like, the Korengal Valley. She's like, were you in prison? Like that, like right away the emotion, right away when she thinks about the fact that they were in prison, like you can tell she gets emotional about it, and that's even before Rick says about Magnum being in solitary and all that. So it's like it just piles on for her, the whole episode.
Yeah.
And like you said, she definitely comes out of this episode thinking very differently of Magnum.
Yeah, so much higher. I feel like she's already at the point where she's like, if she could turn back time and spare her boys this, she would. Sadly, she can't.
Yeah. No. But yeah, I think we'll get a moment where like her and Magnum will talk about it, and she'll probably say something along those lines like, if I could go back and change what happened to you, I would. I mean, we haven't gone there yet, but I'm so sure it's coming. Like, no idea, but I bet it's probably at some point gonna come.
Something like that, at least. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't see us going much further without them having that conversation.
Can we talk about the way he tried to make Amanda recollect?
Oh, the visualization.
Yeah.
That was
I love
so cool.
The fact that he started the whole thing, not where she was captive, but from the first step outside, where she felt like a semblance of control, probably a semblance of hope and getting away. He never went back to where it was. He didn't care about where it was. He only cared about how to get there.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
he knew he didn't need the details. Like, he knew he didn't need those details. Like, when she was actually inside held captive, like, he knew he didn't need that, so he knew that he could start, like, once she was free.
Yeah, I mean, there could have been details that he needed. The entire thing is a World War II bunker, so it's like, hey, this thing is made of this, and this is this kind of door. It could have helped him if it was, like, a tiki door or something like that. Could have helped him find the thing, but I feel like there's also this deliberate thing where he's like, I'm not taking you back to where you got captive. This is the moment you had a semblance of control, and this is the moment where you were free, and that's how far I take you. I'm not taking you back to that place. Yeah, and this is where we're starting. Yeah.
We don't need to, kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah, and we don't want this. I also love how he keeps her updated on the phone and jokes with her while the others have the conversations about the hot stuff behind them.
Yeah. He's like, frisky rabbit pose, dog pose, I just threw up pose.
Yeah.
And how Higgins likes pain.
She does. Yoga is
like she's like, I'll get Higgins to show you. She likes making people suffer.
Yeah. As we can see with the, I think it's the crow pose. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I could never do that.
I fell flat on my face.
Never in a million.
Flat
I could never do it.
You can just, train long and hard and years, and then you'll be able to do it. I guarantee it. I'm just impatient.
Yeah.
Very impatient.
I could try it. I could try it on my water yoga mat and see if I don't die, because that'd be fun to not die.
Not dying definitely sounds like fun. I did it on my jiu-jitsu mat. So when I fell flat on my face, at least I fell softly. Relatively softly.
Yeah, it wasn't on like a thin yoga mat.
Yeah.
Those things are not cushioned at all.
No! Yoga mats are for maximum pain, but also for stability. Because I gotta tell you, even the warrior pose on my jiu-jitsu mat is really hard.
Oh, because it's not stable.
Jiu-jitsu mat is meant to, cushion you for when you fall to the floor, and cushion you for when you are on the floor.
Beaten up.
Yeah, from getting beaten up, so.
Completely different uses.
Mm. Speaking of completely different things, don't know how I got there, but I love the fact that there's micro expressions in this episode that other characters read and read accurately, starting with Higgins and Magnum, aka what he wants, and then later there was just one small micro expression from Amanda, and Higgins and Magnum could tell that, okay, something's up with reason he is scary to her. Why though?
Yeah.
And they zeroed in on that badge, and you know, you could just tell that Gordy was fucking pissed suddenly.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh shit."
Someone's gotta
like,
pay
what
for
have
this.
I done?
Yeah. Also,
he's like, "Oh shit, what have I done?" Yeah. And then we find out that Amanda's not the target.
Yeah, but before that, there was an insight on our elite Duke Gordon that I found very interesting. He has people that he trusts in HPD, which so far is nice, but he has people that he trusts enough to break the rules for him.
Yes,
Suggesting
which we would not expect from him.
Yeah, because he's you know, portraying himself as this kind of, I'm not breaking rules and Magnum is making me and they're a bad influence. Dude, if you're not breaking rules, you're not having people that have your back when you're breaking rules. You are breaking rules. You're like one step rules, buddy.
So true. So true.
I'm still surprised that they're not like, oh, by the way, 5-0 approached me. He would fit so well.
What, that 5-0 comes and asks for recruitment?
Steve is gone. There's you know, someone of a place left. Gordy seems fucking perfect for it. He's willing to go buy the book if it helps them, but if it doesn't help them along, screw the book. What's the book even?
Yeah. Yeah. He wants unlimited means and immunity, or whatever it is that 5-0 has.
He doesn't even wait for it. He does what it takes to solve the crime. Yeah. And if it takes, you know, just being like, I'm just turning a blind eye to what these PIs are doing, that's fine with him.
Oh my god, he does that all the time, though.
Yeah.
He's constantly turning a blind eye to what they do, and he literally says, I wasn't here, or like, I didn't see this, but, you know, you have 20 minutes before HPD is on your butt about this.
He's not like, breaking the rules that way, but he's certainly not adhering to them either.
No, he's walking a very, very thin line.
Oh, that dude's not even trying to walk the line. He knows he's ready to cross that line, but he's also very happy to let them cross it without him first. They're volunteering most of the time.
He's like, they won't lose their badges
because they don't have any. Wrong.
Yeah. Well, Thomas could lose his license, and I guess now Higgy could too, because she technically is a licensed PI as well at this point.
Yeah, but then they have someone speaking in their on their behalf in HPD. So
that's true. They won't.
Yeah, they. I feel like both parties kind of give each other. The other party wouldn't have in another way. Speaking is hard.
Yeah.
I thought my legs are on fire. My brain's apparently on fire too.
Brain mush.
Burned by the sun. Yeah. And then we find out.
Is he a PI? Going back to that, Higgy has her PI license now? She must.
I don't know.
She always says we're private investigators.
Yeah, she does. I mean, she solved enough cases with Magnum to probably just be like, hey, give me a license, thank you very much.
Yeah. Or she was the one who told him to get his license.
Yeah, I don't know if what kind of license you need, because I could imagine that like I said, I don't know about the American system, but I'm pretty sure there's at least one country in this world where you get the license for the company. So by being part of the company, she would automatically. I just don't know if that works for America.
I don't
If
know.
one of you knows that, you're welcome to tell us.
Yeah. And also leave us a comment if you think she has her PI license or if she's just operating sans license, as they say.
Yeah. She's just out there being badass by herself, and probably Magnum being like, she doesn't have a license, so she didn't break a rule.
Yeah,
also
she didn't
sounds
break
a
into
lot
that house.
like
No,
them.
I did. But yeah, so let us know in the comments, DM us, tweet us, whatever, because I'm very curious. I want to know what you guys think about that.
Someone should ask the writers, actually, because if anyone knows for sure, it's them.
Ooh. Okay, tweeting when we're off of this.
By the time you listen to this,
actually, I can't really, but.
Oh yeah. Someone doesn't have their phone.
So, yeah, I was a dum-dum and left my phone at work over the weekend. I literally work like 5 seconds from my house, and I was the last, because we always had to be 2 at work because for security reasons, and myself and the manager left yesterday, and I got home and went in my purse to get my phone and realized I didn't have it, and I was tortured because it's literally around the corner from where I live, and I have the key, but I can't go without a second person. We had to be 2 always to be inside the building.
Yeah, so, and not doing that would be a very bad idea, given where you work.
Yeah, so I am very limited to what I can do this weekend. I'm quite sad about that. I've been telling Eve how sad I've been.
Yeah. She texted me, or well, not texted me. She sent me a message at around 2 a.m. I went back to sleep after. When I woke up again, I was so convinced that that was just a dream. And hours, our dear Rhea suggested breaking into a workplace. Even then, I was like, that has to be a bad dream. That we don't. Idea. None of us has an idea this bad. Actually, we all do have ideas this bad. We're all such dumbasses.
Yep. But yeah, so I might not be as on the next couple of days, but
a little background, by the way, for our run, and for me claiming that we're all dumbasses. We decided to do that run legitimately last week. We didn't even train for it.
Cold turkey.
Cool. Yeah, we just like, we're gonna do this. And we did it!
And we did! And it feels great. I mean, I'm dying, like my legs are on fire, but
yes, they very much
and that's why my hair looks like crap, because I jumped in the lake after, so yeah.
Jumped into the lake. I took a little shower, and here I've got cute curls.
Yeah, you do have cute curls. I like your hair.
I like them too.
Very
I just like that I have like 2 front curls that always want to go in my face, which is why I pulled them back now.
Bobby pin.
Yeah.
Yeah, my hair's just a mess because I didn't get a chance. I literally just jumped in the lake, and I'm probably gonna put my bathing suit back on after and go swimming again.
We'll see. I'm so fucking jealous.
When you come here, when the world opens up and we can visit each other.
I'm not gonna visit you first thing when the world's opening up. First thing we're gonna do is fly our butts to Hawaii.
True. Yes, when the world opens up enough, that's where we're gonna end up.
It doesn't even have to open up fully. Just let the bloody Europeans in. We let you guys in.
Yeah.
So, can we please? Thank you. We've got better numbers than you.
Yeah.
So please let us in.
And Canadians are allowed. Canadians are like half allowed. We have to fly, but that's no problem because you have to fly to Hawaii. But yeah, can't drive into the U.S. right now.
I mean, we physically can't drive to the US anyway, so.
Yeah, well.
This whole thing
Yeah,
with
we can.
continents.
Continents. What's a continent?
Yeah. Actually, what continent does Hawaii technically belong to?
None. It's part of the Hawaiian archipelagos or whatever it's called. Archipelago.
I'm speaking geographically. What tectonic plate are they on? I gotta research that. Cause I'm pretty sure it's not on the North American one. Pretty sure it's not on the North America one. It's just a question, where is it? Probably its own freaking tectonic plate. Unique!
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised if it was, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's a whole lot of ocean. That
Yeah.
might be their own tectonic plate. Hoo-hoo. I gotta research that.
You have to let me know when you figure out what the answer is.
If any one of you is interested in the answer, just holla at us and we'll share it in a future episode. We might actually do an episode about geography of Hawaii and shit.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, we should. We're certainly planning on a very spooky episode soonish.
We are.
Yeah, because Halloween's coming up.
It is. We have a little over 2 months still, but yeah.
Yeah, so we're probably going to feature Pele's Curse and certain night marches and something like that. And maybe even a hotel. Not sure which ghost stories you'll hear, but you'll certainly hear Hawaiian ghost stories.
You'll hear. We'll make it creepy.
Light little plan where we're going to do something in the episode before the show is back on, so you're all prepared with good snacks and Hawaiian snacks for show night!
Yay, show night!
It's coming up!
The excitement. I'm already so excited.
Me too. So, back to the show! Let's talk about mansplaining and PI-splaining.
PI-splaining. She's like, oh great, you're gonna mansplain something to me. No, I'm gonna PI-splain something to you. And she's like, oh, because that's like any better, right? Like in her mind, she's like,
I feel like in his, there's definitely a difference for him because we've not a single time in 3 seasons have we seen him discount her experience or talk down to her based on the fact that she's a woman. I think like it's basically it's just this. I'm the more experienced detective, and it's before he's going like, you're better than me at this. He needs a little bit of realizing that she's better than him.
Oh, she's better at him than a lot of things. But yeah. Yeah, he has never once like patronized her for being a woman. Never ever. Like and I don't think he ever would. Like that's not Magnum.
No. He respects women.
That's not Magnum's MO, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But he certainly sometimes I know stuff and I'm gonna explain stuff because I am a PI and I know shit about being a PI and he's
and she technically isn't at that point yet.
Yeah. However, she's been a spy and he doesn't know how deep it went with her being a spy, so a lot of that might be useless, especially going like, oh yeah, that lock is this is happening with the lock and she's just like fuck are you on, guy? It's so easy.
Let me let me do my little trick and we'll be in 5 seconds. So, and then she's like, you were saying.
And then we have these goons that are just freaking fucking sloppy.
Oh, yeah. They're so sloppy.
Even just leaving the computer on, like, dude, you wanted to be found.
And all the pictures that they have, just, like, chilling in the house, it's like, what are you? Like, you don't know what you're doing. Stop.
No, you're certainly not professional. You try to look professional, but that achieves the opposite. Hey.
Yeah.
Okay, that was German on my part. Hi, is very German. Oops.
Hi.
Yeah.
I say oi oi oi, so not that far off.
It's basically oi 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 in German.
Yeah. There you go. Twinning yet again. And then we have the breakthrough and we find out what it's all about.
Yeah.
And Higgins puts it all together.
Yeah. Very fast. I mean, seriously, what would he do without Higgins?
He would not be able to hack or anything, that's for sure.
He would not be able to solve, like, 80% of his cases.
So true, though.
He's relying on her already so much.
He does. He really does. Oh my god. And then they go to Alan's office building.
Yeah, it was one of the cutest scenes, I think. Eyes on the monitor. Adorable, that scene.
And
honest to God.
She's like, really? And he's like, yeah, turn around.
It's not like she hasn't seen him in underpants a couple of times, given that he's always down on the beach. But
yeah.
Turn around.
But yeah, eyes on the monitor. And then he stops Alan from committing murder. Right? And can we just say he looked great in that uniform?
Very nice uniform.
Yep, uniform. There we go again. Twinning. We had the exact same point.
Yeah. And he's technically impersonating an officer once again.
He is. But he doesn't care. He's like, gotta get the job done, gotta stop Alan from committing murder.
I mean, if he didn't, someone would have been shot. And probably 2 people would have been shot. Because let's be real, these bodyguards, as much as they are not believable in the acting departments, they still would have been shot. They would have shot Alan, so, like, Alan might have died, Mari might have died, because, honestly, they buried the woman. They did not intend to let her go after it. They wanted her to die. They would have left her there, she would have suffocated miserably and died, and Amanda would have been an orphan all of a sudden. Awesome. Yeah.
Which brings me to my other favorite line from the episode where Magnum is punching the guy against the wall, and she's like, what do you? She's like, stop! You're not getting anywhere. And then she goes, answer my friend. And then she asks again. He's like, I'm not telling you anything. And she goes, proceed. And I just love it. She just like
a good cop, bad cop routine. But it's technically like, it's a bad cop, worst cop.
Oh, bad. Yeah. And then she's just like, proceed. I love it.
I tried it the nice way. He's not, go ahead.
He's not. Just, I tried, you didn't listen, now you're gonna pay. Bye!
Big time.
And then we have the rescue Mari scene.
Yeah.
So emotional.
Oh, yeah, and then
everything from that.
Getting her home. Yeah, and I love that I love the episode for 2 things. We got to see a very paternal Magnum, despite the fact that in my head it just never clicks together with that woman being a high school student.
A child.
Yeah, she's not as much of a child as we know.
She's not a child.
We saw paternal Magnum, we saw maternal Higgy, we saw how Higgy reacts to what, like, 'cause, still surviving the POW camp camp, and escaping is an achievement. And what he's been through. It's like, yeah, it's an awesome episode. I can see the appeal.
Very awesome. Yeah, it is one of my favorites. But my ultimate favorite will always be Blood in the Water. I will always maintain that one's my favorite. And when we get to that episode, well, if we get to like that rewatch episode,
we will get there. We will get there. We're here to stay.
Expect a lot, because I will have very high emotions about that episode.
And rewatch is away.
It is true. It is true.
Might get there some point next year.
Maybe.
So, spoiler time again, as usual at this point in the show. If you don't want to have spoilers, bye. We'll see you next time. If you want spoilers, this is your moment.
Yeah.
What do we have?
What do we have? The writers tweeted the 5th episode name. Hang on, I'm pulling it up on my iPad. Because no phone.
Meanwhile, we have pictures from set where Perdita was on the golf course, so we're now 100% sure that Texas West is about golfing. We've got other pictures on set with Perdita and Jay filming a scene where Magnum and Higgins seemingly argue a little bit. Like, then, the usual good-natured banter. Yeah.
And episode 5 is called Till Death, which...
Oh, yeah!
I want to go has to do with a wedding. That's my It's my theory, and it's obvious. It has to do with a wedding. In what sense? We don't know.
We don't know who's wedding yet. Bernardo's wedding.
Oh, I can always hope. And I actually forgot that the writers also tweeted that unfortunately we won't get a Halloween episode, but we possibly will get a Christmas episode. Because somebody said, is there going to be a Christmas episode this season? And they said possibly. We've actually been wanting to do one since the first season, and something always messes us up. So, and also
obviously Halloween episodes.
More children are coming.
More children are coming. Obviously Halloween episodes are hard on the budget and hard on the actors because they naturally have to be filmed at night.
Shot at night.
So yeah, your inner clocks is fucked for a long time after that, which isn't healthy for our boys and girls. So yeah, no Halloween episode for them, but one for us.
Yes, and a Christmas episode. So that could be interesting if we
for
get
them.
it. They said maybe possible.
For them, we're not sure we're doing one. That's a little far in the future.
Yeah. Well, they did say potentially. So.
I mean, they have been talking about having plans for a Christmas episode since before season 3, and due to the world falling into a pandemic, that had to be scrapped. But maybe this year.
Yeah. Oh, and we're also getting 18 to 22 episodes. It hasn't been confirmed yet, apparently. But we're gonna have that. Was there anything else that we were missing?
No. I remember.
Yeah, I don't think so. Again, if you guys see anything, hear anything, read anything, and you want to share, let us know, because we're always open to spoilers.
You guys can come onto our Discord server. There is a dedicated space where you can share spoilers. That might make it onto the show. Certainly probably make it onto the show, let's be real here. And don't forget,
unless you ask us not to.
Unless you ask us not to, because you're not supposed to have it. And in that case, why do you have it?
But we respect it.
We will certainly respect you. Our allegiance to you fans is a little bit higher than our allegiance to
the writers.
Yeah, because From fans for fans. Also, join our Discord server for Higgy Bootcamp. September's coming up, so I'm about to start writing the fitness plans. And I'm pretty sure due to the fact that I know at least one member of our Higgy Bootcamp needs a low impact option, I will probably make 2 plans, actually. One with low impact and one with, moderate to almost plyo impact. So lots of jumping, lots of high impact stuff. So yeah, you're in good hands. Come and join Higgy Bootcamp. Again, entirely free. Join our Discord server for the plans and the support group and everything.
And the podcast in general.
Yeah, the podcast in general. Yeah. And keep listening to us because we're really grateful for you guys, and we're working on stuff in the background and getting frustrated over it and going through all the emotions over it because of that.
It's a roller coaster, but
it is a roller coaster, and it's knocking us out of our comfort zones all the time.
Hopefully we'll get some movement on it, and
we will get some movement. I'm 100% sure on that. It's just a matter of when. And that was it for the podcast. Thank you for listening. Thank you once again for being on, Liz. But you're the fixture, co-host, and everything. So I'll see you.
I love doing it, so it's fun.
Yeah, we'll see you guys for the next episode, which is hopefully not going to be a rewatch. So maybe we will be able to actually plan something next time.
When we're not running our butts off,
or going on a random vacation like I did last week. Bye then, guys.